Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. Panic has gripped ODM party because Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, the Wiper party leader, who is also a co-principal in Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance, has directed their members of parliament to reject the 4 members of ODM party who were nominated by William Ruto to serve in his government during the vetting process.
Mimi nimetoa direction kama party leader kwa Wiper members of parliament, an important member of Azimio. Hao majina ya watu 4 ikiletwa kwa bunge kwa kupatiwa idhini, wana Wiper pigeni no. Na mmesikia mheshimiwa Herini akisema no. Sasa ODM wamewekewa mtego mkali sana. Kama watapiga ndio kuwaidhinisha hawa, basi Kenya itaamini kumbe mlikuwa mnatudanganya kwamba wameenda kivyao.
According to the program, the vetting is supposed to begin on 1st. And according to the requirements, the nominees are supposed to have with them the original ID cards to prove that they are Kenyans. They are also expected to present their academic papers and, of course, professional documents. They are also supposed to provide all the compliance. We are talking of the EACC, the KRA, the HELP, the DACI, and the CRBs. But there's a lot of vested interest in this vetting process. And clearly some individuals are out to ensure that the 4 ODM members are locked out during the vetting process. And I want to ask you, do you think it will serve the best interest of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to lead the Wiper members of parliament in rejecting the 4 ODM members during the vetting process?
Na sisi tunaamini hao watu 4 ambao wametoka kwa Azimio, hao kusema kweli tuseme wameenda kwa Ruto na wameenda wakiendanga. Sawa? Wale ambao tumebaki kwa Azimio, members wa Azimio, political parties, Wiper ikiwemo, ODM ikiwemo. Now we want to see in ODM, even did they say these people went on their own, wameenda kivyao, without the concurrence and authority of ODM, which is a major party in Azimio. The proof of the pudding, they say, is in the eating. Mwanataka kujua sisi hatuna pudding huko Ngora, sisi hatujui pudding, sisi tuna.
The answer to that question, if you are to ask me, is yes and no. Yes, because the mood of the GNCs currently is that ODM members of parliament should not take some of these roles. But again, for Kalonzo Musyoka, he wants to become the president of the Republic of Kenya. And Raila Odinga, as much as you may accept or not, Raila Odinga is still a major factor in Kenyan politics. So by rejecting these 4 members of parliament, Kalonzo Musyoka is going to be seen by Raila Odinga supporters as someone who is fighting Raila Odinga. And the moment you begin fighting Raila Odinga, that's where his supporters will always draw the line. But in this video, I want to explain to you guys why the move by Kalonzo Musyoka is actually giving ODM party serious political headache. First of all, let us look at how the voting is likely to happen. Wiper will vote no if they are to listen to Kalonzo Musyoka. Wiper party has 26 members of parliament. I mean, 26 is a huge number. The other group which is going to definitely vote no to reject these members of parliament, the other group which is definitely going to vote to reject these 4 ODM nominees is the members of parliament who are allied to Rigathi Gachagua. Of course, they'll be powered by Mount Kenya. The fact is, Mount Kenya is not comfortable by the fact that John Mbadi is going to now be the cabinet secretary for treasury. That treasury docket was preserved for the mountain. So Rigathi Gachagua will definitely rally his troops to reject the 4. Of course, William Ruto's allies are expected to vote yes, especially the ones from the Rift Valley, because the Rift Valley members of parliament are keen on winning the support of Raila Odinga and ODM strongholds. And based on the reception of William Ruto in Mombasa, I can assure you, they are definitely going to vote yes. But why do you think ODM party is in panic over the move by Wiper to vote to reject the 4 ODM nominees? That's exactly what I want us to analyze in this video. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. By the way, William Ruto has camped in the coastal region. He began with a tour of Mombasa. He went to Kilifi. Today, William Ruto is in, Taita Taveta. He had been in Kwale. And later in the evening, I think he's holding some town hall meeting. And I'll do a proper analysis about William Ruto's trip to Mombasa, because I've observed that William Ruto has actually refused to learn from the protest by the agencies. He's still making promises which are not neither here nor there. William Ruto's messaging is still off. But let us wait for that analysis. For now, let us focus on why ODM and Raila Odinga are actually in panic.
It is not the business of Azimio to stabilize the Ruto administration. That is not our business. In fact, for us, kazi yetu ni kumwambia amefanya makosa. Hata akifanya vizuri, kazi yetu ni kumwambia you can do better. Sio kazi yetu kumwambia Ruto tumefanya kazi nzuri, umefanya ni. Hapana. That is not our business. Ako na watu wake ambao wanaweza fanya hiyo kazi. Sasa juzi watu wengine after watu kuuma kuziliwa nange meto hapo. Na hiyo vitu nasema ati mwekea ati viti vingine mwekea ati Wiper ichukue viti katika serikali. Who joins a government that is dead? Because this government is dead. Why would we join a government that is dying? And I know within 2 years we have an opportunity to form our own government. Mbona sisi tuingie kwa serikali ambayo imeisha na sisi tunaweza kutengeneza serikali yetu na tulete watu ambao watafanyia wa Kenya kazi. With those many remarks, watu wanasema ni asante.
Let us first of all again begin by looking at the politics around the nominations of those 4 ODM members of parliament. The first thing which is going to happen is that once the 4 ODM members of parliament are vetted and let's say they become successful, what is going to happen is that all of them are going to resign. Which means in ODM party, they are going to be the vacancy. There's going to be vacancy for the chairman held by Mbadi today, the vacancies for the deputy party leader, that is Joho and Oparanya, and of course in parliament, there's also going to be the vacancy for the minority leader. So far, several names are being mentioned. In fact, I'll do a proper analysis on that. Eddie Okech, the Migori senator, is emerging as a frontrunner to succeed Mbadi as the chairman, because Raila Odinga wants new faces alongside Aladwa. So one of them will be taking the seat. And of course, Sibarati is also being mentioned to take one of the positions of the party leader. Of course, there's a discussion whether it should only be 1, not 2. And of course, in parliament, that's where the war is going to be witnessed. But we'll preserve that analysis later. But why do you think ODM party is worried by Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka's move? Number one, ODM was planning to rely on the support of the fellow Azimio leaders. But now, the same Azimio co-principal is saying no. He's saying no. Azimio in total, in parliament, they have 173 members of parliament. Of course, we know parliament has 349 members of parliament. Azimio has 173. From those 173, Wiper as a political party has 26. That's a huge number. ODM has only 86. So which means if you were to add ODM and Wiper, you have like 120. Of course, there are other political parties within Azimio, like Jubilee. Jubilee, I think, has some 28. There's DAP Kenya, which has 4. So in total, Azimio is supposed to have 173. So if Kalonzo Musyoka were to withdraw those numbers, and I want to assume Rigathi Gachagua is also going to play his cards in the mountain, they get a good number of votes there. Of course, internally, let's say also play a bit of politics. Someone like Moses Masika Wetangula of Ford Kenya would not want Oparanya to rise. Because the moment Oparanya is going to be elevated to the position of the cabinet minister, he's going to have a voice, he's going to have a platform. So Wetangula might also advise or request Ford Kenya members of parliament to reject the list. What about Musalia Mudavadi? Musalia Mudavadi is also not keen on Oparanya getting the position because of local politics. So he might also direct the ANC party to reject that list. So which means there's a big problem in Azimio that probably Oparanya might be locked out of that. The same as Joho. Members of parliament are actually keen on redeeming their image. So they want to drop some of these nominees. They want to vote them, to reject them, to redeem that image which they lost. So ODM as a political party is really worried, because if 2 of their members were to be thrown out, they're going to be in a very big problem. Number 2, by Kalonzo Musyoka rejecting the 4 nominees, it means he's giving a room and a window for Rigathi Gachagua to exploit. Rigathi Gachagua is a former DO, very shrewd politician. Against all odds, Rigathi Gachagua forced William Ruto to nominate him as a running mate. As we speak, there are plans to shortchange him, and is watching very closely. So fate is now bringing him and Kalonzo together. Kalonzo Musyoka Rigathi Gachagua ticket is a viable ticket, if you ask me. Because Rigathi Gachagua can easily consolidate the mountain, then Kalonzo, the other side. So the fear in ODM is that Rigathi Gachagua can actually exploit it. Remember the anger in the mountain over William Ruto's move to incorporate ODM members of parliament, ODM leaders into his cabinet. So it's going to provide that window. Number 3, there's also the Azimio internal politics. By pushing ODM not to nominate those members of parliament, and ODM will be pushing, defending the move, is pushing them into a corner. Then it's definitely going to force them to accept that they're working with Ruto. So that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka can then become now the automatic official opposition leader. That would mean ODM party will lose the parliamentary leadership which they have. That is the politics. And of course, with a good strategy, even Ruto can decide to help him achieve that in a strategic way. And lastly, the legal challenges. The truth is, questions are being asked whether ODM members can actually join government while they still remain in opposition. Kalonzo Musyoka, as part of that grand coalition, as a new coalition, can go to court and challenge ODM party. And then the court might rule in their favor that now that ODM has left, you guys are the bona fide officials of the office of the official opposition leader. I don't know what to think, but that's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.